Hello, all. I hope everyone is well. Today I am back with a very interesting SQL problem. Um so let's see what the problem is, then probably we'll jump into the solution. So the problem here is we have been given a table where there are some dates, okay, and we need to find out the rank basically. So this is our input, okay, and the output will be the date as well as the rank. But the logic, what the logic is like the dates are consecutive, if the dates are consecutive, then we will be assigning the ranks like 1, 2, 3, one by one. And if the dates are not consecutive, let's say this is not consecutive, right? Like after 3rd of January, we have 6th of January. So whenever these are not consecutive, then we will start again with 1. Then if we have a rank, which if it is consecutive with the previous one, then we will assign the next rank, okay, for let's say for this one 11th January, right? So after 7th we have 11th January. So this is not consecutive, right? So we'll be assigning 1 with in the place of 11, and after that we have 12th of January and 13th of January, so it will be 1, 2, 3. Okay, I think the problem is clear. So whenever it is consecutive, we'll be assigning one by one the rank. So whenever there is a break, or if it is not consecutive, then we will start with 1. Okay, so this is the problem. So let's see who can solve this. So I will give the script to my description box, and probably you can solve it and post your solution. So this solution, I mean, it can be solved in various different ways. Basically, I will just solve it by only with only one way, and you can solve in different ways too and post your solution. Okay. So let's see how we can solve it. So this is our data, right? This is our data, and so we have the dates. So what do you think how we are going to solve it? Think about it. So if we take the lag, like if we, let's say for each and every date, like see for the second row, right, was 0102. If I subtract this from, I mean, from this, we will subtract the first one. So in that way, like we'll be taking the lag of date basically. So how it would be basically, like if you write lag of date comma 1, okay, so we'll be taking lag over you know order by date, right? So we'll be taking the lag date basically. So I'm just giving an alias name as lag date. Okay, so here if I run this, so we'll be getting the lag of date. So for 2nd of January, right? So we'll be getting 1st of January. So I'm just taking the lag of the date. Okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to subtract basically from this date to this date. So what is the thing that I'm going to do here is basically just trying to see like how many days are there between the date and the lag date. Okay. So how we can do this? So we need to use, right, that we need to use date diff function, right? So date diff, okay, and what I'm going to do is like the difference in days between these two dates, right? So day and this date, right? This date and date. So so we are going to find out the difference between how many days are there between these two dates. So di difference in terms of days between these two dates, right? So if I write down like this as difference in days, right? So if I run this, so we'll be getting the difference. But if you look at very carefully, the first one we are getting null, right? So we'll be replace the null using Coley's function. So I'm just putting a Coley's function here, right? And right, that the Coley's function, how it works is if the first argument is null, then we'll be assigning 1. And if it is not null, then this value will be there in the output, right? So in that way, so what we did basically, I'm just telling you once again, we just found out the lag of date, okay, here, and after finding the lag date, I am just subtracting the date and lag dates. I'm just subtracting from date the lag date, and so the difference between this lag and date and lag date, right? So what are you going to get here? Basically, I'm going to get the difference in days, right? So if I run this, I'll be getting the difference in days, right? Now, so let's call this is a city with prepare city as, okay. So this is a city. I have just named it, okay. So so I got this. So if I run this, select star from city, so I'll be getting the same result, right? Yeah, okay. So I'm getting the same result. Now, after that step, what I'm going to do here is think about it. So basically, if you think that this, if I try to find, this is this particular thing, right? 0, 1, 0, 2, and 0, 3. If we find out a group, so if I try to assign these three dates into a group, right? Then we'll be able to find out the rank. So then only we can apply the row number function, row number window function, to get the rank. Then also, so this can be assigned into a group. Also, this can be also assigned into a group, right? Because these are consecutive. So whenever we have consecutive days, we will assign that consecutive days into a group. So if we assign them to a group, then we'll be able to find out the row number, right? So so our ultimate goal is to find out the group. So how we can find out the group? What you can do is, so what you can do is basically, so how we are going to find out the group, right? So for doing the group, uh, think about that. Let's say if I put here inside that city, so we'll do it inside the city or outside the city, wherever you want to do, you can do it. But I prefer to do it inside the city. Let's say, so there is a function called if function. You can use case one also. So I'm just using if IIF function. There's a function IIF, right? I'll explain what it does. So if I put IIF of this, right, then I'm putting, I'll explain it. Let me write it first. If this is, okay, if this is 1, okay, then 0, else 1. Okay, what does it mean? Okay, so what I'm saying is, so if you see that we have got this result, right? We have got this result, correct? What I'm saying is, if function with that expression, right, till that point, right, this is the expression. With that expression, I got 1, 1, 1, 3, 1, 4, something like that, right? So what I'm saying, if this function equals to 1, if this function equals to 1, then put 0, else 1. If this function is equals to 1, then put 0. So all this value will be 0, right? Whatever is 1. And if it is not 1, something else, then put 1. Okay. So I'm just giving a name like, let's say, like anything, like put something like stat, or like if continuous, or whatever. I'm very bad at naming. You can name appropriately. Continuous, right? CONTI. What is that? And UOUS. Yeah. So I'm just giving the name like this. So if you think like, if you run this only this portion, so you'll see that I have got this. So this was 1. Like, okay, let me write this one so you'll get to know how it is, right? Let's see that. Okay, so if I run this, basically, oh, so yeah, so think, let's see, oh, what happened? Oh, okay, so this point to this point, right? So if I put it here, yeah, this might be okay, I think. Yeah. So if you see, so what I have explained is like, if this value, if this particular value equals to 1, then put 0, right? Else 1, right? So here it is 3, then it's 1, correct? So okay, so we got that, right? So we don't need this basically, so I'm just removing it. Okay, Now, so we got that if continuous column, right? If continuous column. Okay. Now, what I'm going to do here is, so we got that, right? Now, we will just add it. How we are going to add it? We will add one by one. Like from here, we will be adding, like, right? Like how we can add, like, what we call rolling sum, basically rolling sum on the basis of the date. So how we are going to do it? So what will be the output is, like, it will be 0 here in the first row. Second row will be also 0, 0 plus 0. Third row will be 0 plus 0 plus 0, then 0. Fourth row will be 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1, 1. Fifth row will be 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 1 plus 0. In that way, so it's a rolling sum. Okay, so in that way we'll get the sum of what? Sum of if continuous, right? Sum of if continuous, okay, over order by date. So we'll get the rolling sum, right? I'm just giving a name like sum if continuous, whatever. Can't. Okay, so if I run this now, if I run this, so you'll get the sum if count. Now look at that very carefully. We have got the group, right? So this group, this is one group, this is one group. So we have got the group, right? So that was our intention, right? So we'll have to find a group, and on the basis of the group, we will assign the row number. So if you look at very carefully, within this group, we have all the dates which are continuous. Within this group, we have all the dates which are continuous. Within this group, we have all the dates which are continuous, right? Next thing is very easy. So it's basically like you just select date, right, and use a row number, right, over what do you need? Partition by what? Partition by this column, right? That is what we need, right? Partition by this, order by date, right? As I can put rank, right, from where? Make this as a subquery, okay, right, as a, okay. So got that, right? So within this particular group, you will be getting the rank. So if I run this, you'll see you'll be getting the rank. So within this particular, like, these are continuous, so I have got the rank 1 2 3. So these two are continuous, I have got 1 2. These three are continuous, so you've got 1 2 3, right? Pretty simple, right? So I'll explain it once again. Basically what we have done, first you take the lag of the date, okay. First you take the lag of the date. So I'll explain here. First you take the lag of the date, right, and subtract it from the date. Subtract the lag date from the date. So when you subtract it, so you'll get the number of days in between, okay. So once you get the days of in between, just put, so some of the cases you'll be getting 1, right, whenever this is continuous, right? So whenever this is continuous, so for 0101 and 021 0102, when if you subtract this, so you'll be getting a difference 1. But if it is not continuous, you'll be getting greater than 1 days, that's for sure. Because, like, for within this, right, so if it is not continuous, right, so it will be always greater than 1. So what I'm saying is, whenever this is 1, then put 0. Whenever this is not 1, then put 1, right? That's what we did here, right? That's what we did here, right? So if we have got this, if we get this, then basically what you need is just take the rolling sum on that particular column, right? So in the rolling sum, when you will calculate the rolling sum, you'll be getting the group. So for this group, we'll be having a value, right? For this group also, you'll be having a sum if count value. For this also, you'll be having a sum if count value, like what we have calculated here, right? Once you have calculated, it's very simple. So on that particular column, you will have to partition it, right? If you partition it on that particular column, you'll be getting the row number, right? Okay, pretty simple, right? So this problem can be solved in various different ways. So I have solved it using only one way. If you have any other solution, please post it in the comment section and let me know. If you have a good solution, just post it. I found it something like this is not that easy, but I can say, but you can try it. If you have any solution, just post. And yes, so how is it? Just don't forget to subscribe the channel. If you want to know various questions and answers, just message me if you need anything. Thank you. Then bye.